Well, thank you. I'm glad. All right. Does anyone know? Oh, I muted you. What's up?
I don't know if it's still there.
Okay. Saul, what's up?
I saw yesterday. I saw the same. I saw the video that we did yesterday.
Oh, okay.
The video.
I'm glad that you did the vocabulary for chapter 1. That's awesome.
No, the chapter 2.
Chapter 2 was yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday I found the one where chapter 2 that we were answering.
Oh, you found that on YouTube, so you could see your little faces on YouTube too. I'm just kidding. All right. So for chapter 3, does anyone think they know how to pronounce that first word? The first word for chapter 3. Anyone think they know? Penny, you think you know?
Commotion?
Commotion, yeah. Does anyone think commotion means? Or has anyone ever even heard the word commotion? Penny or Cherish, you've heard of it? Yeah, so for example, when we have like our class parties, there's a lot of commotion. When we go, and if you've ever been to a sports game, there's a lot of commotion. If you go to like a Raiders game or a basketball game, there's a ton of action. So if you go to, yeah, Benny, I'm sure you've been in a place with a lot of commotion. So if you have commotion, there's a lot of noisy excitement. So if you go to commotion, and you might want to draw like I went to the Warriors Day or the Warriors Parade when they won a few years back, and there was a lot of commotion, a lot of excitement. If you've been to a birthday party, there's a lot of commotion, a lot of noisy excitement, or at a sports game. Josh, do you have this paper to write this down, cutie? Can you give me a thumbs up if you have this paper? Do you have it? No? Okay, this should have been mailed to you. But even if you want to get like a blank piece of paper, Josh, you can write this down. So why don't you go get like white paper or something? You can at least like write it down. Do you have paper? Okay, why don't you just go get some paper and a pencil and you can at least write this down. Okay. All right, kiddo. Yes, Scarlett.
I don't know what to draw because I'm not really a good drawer.
So, sweetheart, just know that this isn't an art contest, okay? So, if you draw people jumping up and down, if you draw just like a bunch of stick figures and like little speech bubbles or something, showing that there's a lot of noise, and maybe they could have smiles on their faces because it's kind of like a lot of times if there's commotion, people are excited and there's a lot of action. But just know, like, no one's judging how well you're drawing, okay? The important thing is that you're drawing the meaning of the word. Okay. All right. Now, and again, if you can give me that, if you could press that little reaction button to show me that you're done, that's helpful. That little thumbs up button, like Aaliyah did. Yeah, there you go. Thanks for the thumbs up. That's all. Oh, good, Brooklyn. Awesome. Thanks for showing that to me. That's cool. All right. The next vocabulary word, can anyone share the next vocabulary word? Or think they know how to pronounce it? Cherish, you think you know how to pronounce it? Oh, hold on. You're muted. Yeah, you can unmute yourself. How do you think you pronounce the next word, Cherish?
Captivity.
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 Anthony, love, careful with interrupting. Yeah, so the word is captivity. And so does anyone know what it means for something to be in captivity?
Yeah.
Or have you ever heard that word before? No? So if you've ever been to the zoo, you've seen animals in captivity, okay? If someone's in jail, they are in captivity. So if someone's in captivity, they're being kept in a cage and they're not able to leave. Okay. So it's not like if someone's in captivity that they could just open the fence and walk out. If they're in captivity, they're being kept in like a locked area where they're unable to leave. Yes, Vicente.
I thought it was like you're trapped.
Yeah, so if you're in captivity, you are like trapped. Yeah. So the whole point is that now in zoos, sometimes, their purpose is a lot of times to protect animals, and like the aquarium. But yeah, if you're in captivity, you're unable to leave. That means not able to leave. Yes, Scarlett.
If I see the whale in the picture, and I know it's patient.
Hold on. Let me just mute everybody. There's someone who's muted. Yes, Scarlett.
I see how the whale. It says that they're kept in a cage and unable to leave, like the whale, and the whale either way can't leave because
Anthony, please stop unmuting yourself.
it has to stay in water.
Nice, thank you. All right, does anyone think they know the next word and how to pronounce the next word? Saul, you think you know?
Reconsider.
You're getting warmer, not quite. It's a short I, so si, I. Jaylene?
Reconsider.
Reconsider. And so in Charlotte's Web chapter 3, the goose is like, reconsider, reconsider, reconsider. The goose says everything 3 times in Charlotte's Web, which is kind of silly. So maybe you ask your parents if you can go to Disneyland. And they say no the first time, but you're hoping that they'll reconsider and change their answer to yes. Okay. So if someone reconsiders, like sometimes you all have asked me a question and I'll say, you know what? I'll have to think about it. Let me reconsider. Or I make a decision and I'm like, after thinking about it, I change my mind. I reconsider. So if you're reconsidering, you think again. You consider again. Like I rethink, like, I made a decision. Like for example, I originally had math lessons scheduled in the afternoon at 1:00, but then I reconsidered and I was like, you know what, that's kind of late in the day. So I moved it up to 11:00 because I thought after reconsidering, I was like, no, 1:00's a little too late in the day. So if you reconsider, it means that you think again and you rethink something. So I would maybe draw like the picture of this guy with like little question marks around his head is a good one for reconsider. So I think in chapter 3, the goose, Wilbur escapes, but then he wants to go back into captivity and he wants to go back into his cage and the goose tells him to reconsider, reconsider, reconsider. Think again. Okay. And again, if you give me that little thumbs up showing like Brooklyn did that you are done. Oh, I like your picture, Brooklyn. Thank you. Yes, Scarlett.
I don't have the reactions anymore. I had it on my mom's though.
That's okay. You can just give me a little thumbs up or show me your paper. All right. So the next vocabulary word, you all are good to go for the next word? Jock says, okay. Anthony V is. Awesome. Does anyone think they know how to pronounce the next word? How to pronounce this next word? Aaliyah, what do you think?
Dazed?
Dazed, yep. So if you are dazed, like let's say I'm hitting the head with a ball. Uh-oh, that's not good. And then I'm kind of like, whoa, like what just happened? And like the world becomes kind of out of focus and I'm sort of confused about what's happening. Like if you get in a concussion, you might become sort of dazed, very confused about what's happening. What's up, Vicente?
Sometimes I do this, like running in circles so much that when I stop, I get dazed and go one side into another side, and then like that so many times. And
Yeah.
I'm dazed.
Yeah, you might be kind of dazed after spinning yourself in circles, and then when you become still or when you stop, you get maybe sort of like confused. Or maybe someone gives you sorry, I got a little distracted. But yeah, so if you're dazed, your eyes might be kind of big and maybe you have little question marks around your head again. So your picture for dazed, and again, you can show me your picture if you want to hold it up. Your eyes would be kind of big and you'd be confused. Oh, let's see, Vicente. A little hot. There you go. Nice. Okay. Nice, Scarlett. Thanks for showing me that you're done. And Brooklyn, thank you. Oh, very nice, Cherish. Nice. Anthony V, I see you. Awesome. Okay. And anyone think they know how to pronounce the next word? Oh, now this one. Some of you, when you come in from recess time and you've been running around, you come with a lot of this next word on your neck and hair and face and ugh. Then I give you hugs and I'm like, ooh, uh-oh. Anyone think they know how to pronounce the next word? Even just how to pronounce it? What do you think, Scarlett?
Perception.
No, not quite. It's per, spur, a, and then T-I-O-N makes shun. So perspiration. Perspiration. What's the word? Perspiration. Now, given my clue, does anyone think they know what perspiration means? Especially when you come in from recess time and you're playing basketball. You all are covered in perspiration. And then some of you try to give me hugs and I'm like, oh, I love you all, but the perspiration's a little bit like, ugh. What is it, Jax?
Sweat.
Sweat. Yep. So perspiration is another word for sweat. Okay. So now you have a fancy word for sweat, perspiration. And the verb might be to perspire. So if you perspire, you sweat. Perspiration. Maybe you sweat because you're hot or because you exercised a lot. And again, if you give a thumbs up or show me your picture when you're done. Penny, awesome, Sol. Awesome. Brooklyn. Josh, hold up your paper to the camera. It's a little hard to see. So, yeah, just as long as you're writing the word and you're writing the definition and then you draw a little picture next to it, you're doing just fine, okay? So just write down the word perspiration. Yeah, you could just write down that word perspiration, write down the definition, and then draw a little picture. For you, it won't be enough to just write down the definition. You have to write down the word too, because you don't have the word on your paper, okay? All right. Anyone think they know how to, oh, this is like such a silly word. It just sounds kind of silly. Does anyone think they know how to pronounce the next word? It's kind of a fun word to say. Benny, what do you think?
I think it's Hoobla Boobla.
No, not at all, but nice try. What do you think, Saul?
Hula Baloo.
Close. Hullabaloo. You
I
can.
have my eye hurts.
Oh, I'm sorry, kiddo. The word is hullabaloo. You can even say that at your, that is a hard word to say, yeah. So the word is hullabaloo. You can even if at home on your own, you could say, well, hullabaloo, hullabaloo. Now the word hullabaloo actually goes along with the word commotion, okay? So in a place where there's a lot of commotion and a place where there's a lot of excitement and a lot of noise, there might also be a lot of hullabaloo, okay? Which is such a fun word to say. So hullabaloo would be noisy, upsetting, confused situation where there's a lot of chaos. Have you ever heard the word chaos? If things are very chaotic, there's a lot going on, there's a ton of noise maybe, and a lot of confusion. So if there's a lot of hullabaloo, especially at like sports games, there might be a lot of hullabaloo, or at like a class party, there might be a lot of hullabaloo. But sometimes if it's a noisy, upsetting, or confused situation with a lot of chaos. And so this is a picture from Charlotte's Web. Actually, you'll see this in your book of hullabaloo. And you see little Wilbur's, look at his face is kind of upset because he was trying to escape. Hullabaloo. Hold it up a little closer, cutie pie. Yeah, so just write down the word, write down the definition, and then if you draw, so I think you're doing it okay, as long as you write down the word hullabaloo, you write down the definition, a noisy, upsetting, or confusing situation with a lot of chaos, as long as you write down this definition, and then you draw a little picture. Yes, Scarlett.
I put a thumbs down because I see the in one of the pictures they have their thumbs down with the
Oh, like right here, this one? Yeah, so, but it's like, especially if there's a lot of noise, so you might want to draw a lot of people doing that. Yeah, because a hullabaloo wouldn't be a quiet situation. It would be a very noisy situation. Okay, Jocks. And actually, we're on our last vocabulary word, so I will have time to have a book read aloud to you on VOOCs as well. Yes, Vicente.
One time yesterday I was on the treadmill for a 2-mile one.
Awesome. Does that have to do with hullabaloo?
No, it was for the sweat.
Oh, perspiration. So you had a lot of perspiration. You perspired a lot because you went on the treadmill for 2 miles. That's awesome, Vicente.
Yeah.
That's good for you. All right. Does anyone think they know the last vocabulary word? how to pronounce the last word. Maybe someone I haven't heard from yet. Mars, how do you think you pronounce the last word?
Slops.
Slops, yeah. So does anyone have an idea of what slops might be? What do you think, Vicente? What are slops?
Like it might be a breakfast or a snack
Yeah,
or
well,
soup kind of.
yeah, slops actually has to do with food, but it's like food for an animal, okay? So pigs might eat slops. So slops are wasted, like waste food used to feed pigs or other animals. So like look at that green combination of food. Would you want to eat that necessarily? No, not at all. So let me get my Charlotte's Web book for a moment. Because slops is like a combination of like really gross foods that humans don't want anymore. Like for example, here's an example of slops for Wilbur. 12 o'clock lunchtime. Middlings, warm water, apple parings, meat gravy, carrot scrapings or scrapings, sorry, meat scraps, stale hominy, and the wrapper off a package of cheese. Disgusting, right? Another one of his is skim milk, provender, leftover sandwich from Lurvy's lunchbox, prune skins, a morsel of this, a bit of that, fried potatoes, marmalade drippings, a little more of this, a little more of that, a piece of baked apple, and a scrap of upside down cake. So those are example of slops. It's like a whole bunch of leftover food from humans that used to feed pigs. All right, kiddos. So everyone's done writing down the last definition for slops. You'd have to use that empty white space down below. All right. So when you're done, that is a pig, Brooklyn. That's a pig. Pigs can look a little different. All right. And so just know that we have our math at 11, okay? And so we'll pause here though. And I know a lot of you are